The whole essence and purpose of a prayer vigil is to show that there is a love. We've seen over 100 women in Birmingham who've been scheduled for an abortion, who've subsequently chosen life as a result of the prayer vigils there.
So you're here praying outside the National Maternity Hospital, but Irish politicians have described these vigils as intimidating and as harassing women. So what would you say to that claim?
So 40 Days for Life, we organise peaceful, prayerful and legal vigils, and we've been accused of harassment and intimidation by politicians. I would say nothing's further from the truth. We have elderly ladies praying the rosary. The whole essence and purpose of a prayer vigil is to show that there is a love for anybody in a crisis pregnancy to choose life for their unborn child, that there's a love out there in the community to help somebody choose love. We don't judge people, we don't harass them, we don't intimidate them. We're there motivated out of the love of Christ. And the aim is to be the last sign of hope for anyone considering an abortion.
So in the UK, activists like Father Sean Goff have raised free speech concerns and said that arresting people for silent prayer amounts to thought crime. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, so in the United Kingdom, we've had local buffer zones introduced in Birmingham where Father Sean Goff lives, and he has been arrested by the police for standing inside a buffer zone for the thoughts in his head. The wording of the buffer zones is so bad that influencing anybody, and this really extends to thoughts. So both Isabel von Spruce and Father Sean Goff have been arrested literally for a thought crime, which is Orwellian in its very nature, which is so overbearing in terms of legislation introduced to really prevent the vigils from happening. But it's a real example of the power of prayer. We've seen over 100 women in Birmingham who've been scheduled for an abortion, who've subsequently chosen life as a result of the prayer vigils there. We've also seen the abortion centre close in Birmingham following 40 Days for Life campaign. So there's been a huge amount of spiritual blessings, wonderful things happen, and at the moment we're facing persecution, just shutting down the vigils, banning them, which is a complete overbearing power from both the local government and the national government.
If the Irish government passes a law banning prayer vigils, as has happened in the UK, even silent ones, what would your advice be to those who are praying for women at abortion centres?
Well, I'm full of hope despite the persecution on the national level. We have every single institution in Britain, from the Supreme Court to the Scottish Government to Westminster to the Northern Irish Assembly to 5 local councils that have banned us. We have almost every single institution challenging the prayer vigils at the moment. However, the chance to witness, to evangelise has never been stronger. We've had a buffer zone for 5 years in Ealing in West London. We've had incredible witness there, reaching out to hundreds of people despite the fact that we're outside the buffer zone. So in the United Kingdom, the buffer zones are being challenged by judicial review. They're also being challenged by the arrests of people for thought crimes. We're also going to have further legal cases. So there are plenty of different ways. I can't tell people how to use their conscience. If they feel very strongly against it, they might wish to protest within the buffer zone. That would be their own discretion of whether they wanted to do that to challenge the law.
What would you say to people who say that because abortion is legal, people like yourselves should just stop this and, you know, close up shop, and that it's a done or settled issue? What would you say to that?
That's such a weak issue, a weak argument, and I've been organising prayer vigils for over 10 years. We meet women who feel like they have no choice but to go for the abortion, which is a parody of the so-called pro-choice movement. They feel like they have no choice. They feel coerced into abortion. We've also witnessed women who've been forced into abortions by their partners. We had one woman jump out of the window of the abortion centre to get away from her family, forcing her into an abortion. And we're here with a message of love, of hope, of support. Many women have no idea that there are alternative Christian organisations offering them financial help, counselling, support, any tangible need that they have. We're there to offer them, and they've never heard of that because, you know, we're not given government funding. They're not easy to find. We're challenged. The counselling centres are challenged by many different sources, but we have that offer of love and offer of support, which isn't offered by. That's the one thing that's not offered by the abortion centre in Britain. You know, they're not offering anything of those. So we're offering a choice. choice, and that choice is suppressed, it's not heard. So that's why we go to the abortion centres, to offer that choice, to offer that alternative. Say, look, if there's any reason that, whether it be financial, whether it be, many of the abortions are illegal. They're against the law according to the British law at the moment, which is we have, abortion is partially decriminalised in the United Kingdom. So if somebody's going for an abortion for the wrong reason, that is still a criminal act in the United Kingdom. So we're there out of love, saying, look, there's an alternative, there's hope. Any issue you have, we're not here to judge you, we're here to love you, we're here to support you. And that's a message that really needs to be heard. This is not a settled issue. There are millions of post-aborted men and women in Britain, in Ireland, who've been affected by abortion, and to be in public and to say there's an alternative message here. We believe in the sanctity of human life, but we're here to offer healing, to offer hope, and to offer any alternatives to anyone in a crisis pregnancy too. That's a powerful message, and it's really important too.